Hello everybody! It's GirlGotGame and welcome back to Steam Prison Beyond the Steam. We are here to start Ines's route. So I've skipped a little bit of the prologue. I've already made the choice to consult with my family first to get me on the Jereme path. And I think this is our first choice with Ines coming up and just first one-on-one chat with him. So I thought we'd start here. I would work just as hard for my post here with Ines until we leave together. Ah, good morning, Sir Ines.
Good morning. Oh, it's you, Cyrus.
Why the long face?
Am I that obvious? It's nothing, really. Just that I've been approached about meeting a potential suitor.
I forgot that was happening. I still so badly want it to be that you two were the ones that were supposed to meet next. That would be amazing. It would be a nice little bookend on how, like, fate brought you together when she lost her locket, and then fate brings you back together here at the end. That's all I want. Please make it happen. You too, huh? Was it your family?
No, my direct superior. He was quite insistent, so I couldn't exactly refuse.
I see. Difficult times for both of us.
So it seems. You especially, since apparently that's the reason you couldn't accompany the expedition.
And I think I did this once and was like, oh, saying it's unavoidable is probably like an Ines thing, and then he surprised me, so I'm gonna go with express regret, if I remember correctly. Ayo, that's what I need. Yes. To be honest, I'm still a little bitter over it. I wish I had just ignored my mother and gotten on the lift.
And yet you didn't. Out of respect for your family.
Maybe. Or maybe I just can't separate myself from them. They're always making me do things like this, and I always let them. What about you, Sir Ines? Do you wish you could have accompanied the expedition?
I suppose I would have gone if ordered. I never gave it much thought, actually. My duty comes first. Saxon is always laughing about how dull I am.
You mean you've actually seen him smile?
He smiles all the time.
I wouldn't call that a smile. His usual expression seemed more like a derisive sneer. I shouldn't say anything bad about Sir Ines's friend, though. I must have been mistaken. Yes, I'm familiar with Sir Saxon's smile.
What are we talking about?
I forgot that he interrupts just casually.
Oh, we were just discussing you. I know. I heard my name mentioned.
Sir Saxon's eyes were razor sharp. Well, I should get back to my post.
Huh. Did I scare her off? It sounds like she has work to do. You may be skilled with a sword, but you're completely hopeless in every other way.
It's okay, Ines. We still love you. I don't remember when the next thing is. Ah, right. Hello, Eltcreed. I was wondering if Ines would replace Eltcreed by coming to get her, but I guess it makes sense that he doesn't. I guess we're just going from here until we get to the sanctuary district. I'll pause here for you guys and bring you in when something happens with Ines. Okay, it actually wasn't too much further. As soon as they got to the sanctuary district, it's like, time for food, so... we did creative for Eltcreed last time, so we're gonna do traditional for our traditional Ines. There it is. Is there any style of pasta that's traditional in the depths? I'd like to see how it differs from the heights.
Ah, now I understand what he was asking. Yes, I'm curious about the differences as well.
Didn't you ever have pasta when you served with the hounds?
I had a lot going on during that time. Maybe I did, but it's been so long that I've completely forgotten.
Then perhaps I should incorporate some exciting flavors that will spark your memory.
I suppose you could, but won't that mean it's not traditional anymore?
Yune has a point.
Whoops, you're absolutely right. Thank you for pointing that out. At any rate, prepare to be amazed.
I shall prepare myself for pasta. I think we're also going to just keep going with this. I'm pretty sure Ines and Cyrus have their "whoa, it was you from way back when" moment coming up very shortly, so.
And after all that fanfare...
Spagat!
Ta-da! I ended up just making whatever I could.
Wow, you did all that in an hour? That's incredible.
This was nothing. Pasta is so simple. You just choose your noodles, boil and drain. Then prep your add-ins, cook and mix. Serve it up on a plate for the grand finale. That's all.
You make it sound so simple. I think it's actually difficult to do well, and without being wasteful too.
I have my natural intelligence and acquired skills to thank for that. I have been quite blessed after all. This could be our last pasta fest together, so let's all savor it.
You're right. There's no telling what might happen on our travels.
Indeed, but I'm sure everything will go smoothly, as long as you have me around.
Huh. You never seem to change, no matter the circumstances.
Would you rather I approach the situation with a sense of grim resolve? It's too soon for that. Our journey hasn't even begun yet. Even as we set out, my faith is unwavering. I have every confidence in this team.
He's right. Putting aside some sort of natural disaster, even if we get caught in a conflict, a peaceful resolution is the best one. If worse comes to worse, you can always rely on me. I'm sure I could find some way to make myself useful.
Are you saying you would surrender yourself to save us? That's an incredibly kind gesture. I'm not very comfortable with the use of force myself, but let's consider that a last resort. We'll leave the fighting to these two. I really can't wait to see you both in action. I'm so impatient I almost wish a mugger would appear.
A mugger? Here.
Yes. You and Heine would have the situation handled in the blink of an eye, wouldn't you? Actually, no, I don't want that. It would be over too fast. That's just not good entertainment.
And I finally called him Heine instead of Heine, yes.
You find muggings entertaining. It's so difficult to understand your thought process.
I get that a lot. There are times when even I don't understand me. But allow me to explain my logic here. I've admired the knights of old ever since I was a young child. Noble, solitary masters of the sword who fight for justice. I was so thrilled the first time I encountered the hounds, but that feeling didn't last long once I saw what they were really like.
Saxon's doing, I assume.
My view of Brandenburg has softened since then. After all, a lot has happened between us, hasn't it? You know what I'm talking about. Admiration is a sort of demon that separates one from reality. I arbitrarily impose my ideals on the swordsman from the heights, and I was let down because of it. But with a pair of gallant-looking knights like you two right in front of me, it's impossible not to get my hopes up. This childishness is also part of my charm. Isn't it cute? I can't believe it's been 2 years already. I can still picture it like it was just yesterday. Cyrus fearlessly facing down Brandenburg with her sword. It takes me back.
That's actually a really embarrassing memory for me.
Why? Because of your youthful recklessness? Would you stand idly by without drawing your sword if you witnessed that brutality today?
No, I'd probably do the same thing again.
That's a relief. By the way, why did you become a knight? I mean, a police officer? Female officers are so uncommon even now. It's part of the reason you've captured my heart and won't let it go.
Because I admired them, the same as you. One of them helped me when I was a little girl. He found this for me after I had lost it.
Wow. That's a centennial medallion.
What's that?
They were given to the nobility to commemorate the 100-year anniversary of our nation's founding. I don't think they were really appreciated at the time, probably because so many were made. I'm surprised to see it still in such good condition. Your family has taken really good care of it.
I never realized it had such history behind it. Now I really wish I had thanked him properly, even though he said it wasn't necessary.
Cyrus, would you mind if I had a look at that pendant?
Not at all. Here you go. Sir Ines took the pendant from my hand and examined it in silence, tilting his head as he acquainted himself with the feel of it. Sir Ines?
The man who helped you. Was he a rank 1 police officer?
Yes. At least that's what I remember. I love that. I love that they get this realization again here, because they didn't have it in the first game with the grand ending. Ah, yay! Younger Ines.
I see. In that case, I believe that officer was me.
What?
What?
Nani?
Why are you being so dramatic, Eltcreed? Isn't this a touching reunion?
Because... Wait just a second, Heine, that's not fair!
What's not fair?
I'm talking about the forces of fate! I thought for sure Cyrus was destined to be with me because of the way I associate her with my ideal image of a knight. How am I supposed to compete with her sense of debt from a childhood encounter?
There's no debt to be repaid here. It's a police officer's job to serve the people.
Hey! That's exactly what I'm talking about! I've never felt such a staggering sense of defeat before. Thank God someone invented pasta. I'm going to need a lot of it to get me through this. Know that I love you, whoever you are!
That man from my childhood was Sir Ines. I can kind of see it, I think. The memory was so old and faded that it was impossible for me to tell, but I still remember what he said to me after. Always faithful. Serving the people is my job as an officer. I don't need anything. Those were his words.
Wow. It's hard to believe you grew up to be under my command. The world works in mysterious ways.
Yes, it really does. It's a little embarrassing now, knowing you were the one I looked up to. But it's also sobering at the same time. I'll have to work extra hard so I don't do anything unbecoming of an officer in front of Sir Ines.
If only you could be a little more mature yourself, Eltcreed.
I happen to be very mature. I'm mature like you wouldn't believe. I'm flawless, talented, beautiful, and smart, with fame and riches to boot.
Yes. I think I'm beginning to understand Ulrik a little better.
Yup. And I think we have a talk with Eltcreed as well the very next morning about, like, has your view of Ines changed now? The next morning, I had woken up early and was taking a stroll through the garden. Is that? Oh! Well, that is not Eltcreed. That is a different boyo. In fact, it is the boyo we have been looking for. Good morning, Sir Ines.
Oh, it's you. I'm so sorry. You caught me in the middle of a yawn.
Did you have trouble sleeping last night?
Maybe it's because I'm used to the call room at work, but soft bedding doesn't agree with me. What about you? Did you sleep well?
Yes, very. If you need help with anything at all, just let me know. I can work hard enough for the both of us.
I'll be fine. Socks would never let me hear the end of it if I let a little sleep deprivation stop me. Don't worry about me. Just do whatever you need to do. I still can't believe you're that same girl. It's such a curious feeling. How many years has it been now?
It was 7 years ago. I was 13 at the time.
13?
What's wrong?
It's just a shock to realize that you were only 13 7 years ago. That means you're 20 now, so we're 11 years apart.
Yep, me and Ines are the same old age. You're almost as old as my father. Oh god, didn't we have a talk? I feel like, was this not a choice in the original Steam Prison? I feel like it was. This is triggering some kind of core memory for me, and I'm like, I also don't like how, wow, you must have so much experience. I don't like how it sounds, but it's better than this. So, I always knew you were older than me, but I never gave much thought to your actual age. 11 years difference. That means you have a lot more life experience. I hope I can learn from you.
I don't know if that experience is worth anything, but I suppose you're right. Age is one gap that's impossible to close. At least I can work hard to set a good example.
Oh yeah? What do you mean by age is a gap that's hard to close? I don't know. I feel like he was like, oh, she was 13 7 years ago. That means there's a big age gap. Blur. Hang in there, Ines. Hang in there. You're already a wonderful role model. The harder you work, the more distance you're going to put between us.
Even if I do, I know you're diligent enough to catch up.
Yes, I know I will someday.
Well, that was interesting. We had a little chitty chat with Ines instead.
I guess that means we'll have a chat with Yune at some point? Anyway, time to skip ahead once again. I shall bring you in when something happens. She says, and 3 sentences later, there is a new choice. Ines is really like, just play the whole route through. Like, don't do the skipping thing. Just keep going. Don't worry about it. Fine, Ines. Sheesh. You want all the time. I get it. We did this for Eltcreed. This is most definitely a Yune thing. So, here we go. Nice. Don't drive the horses too fast. Please be careful, Eltcreed.
Yes, I agree. I'm also concerned about the horse's stamina.
You've got nothing to worry about. These are the best horses in all of Libralitas. Plus, they're wearing blinders. If anything, lowering our speed would be the more dangerous proposition. You don't want us to get attacked while we can't see, do you?
Attacked? By who?
Who can say? Perhaps wild animals or indigenous people. Ulrik's report didn't mention anything, but we can't rule out the possibility. Getting through the fog is our top priority, even if we have to push a little harder.
Ibbly. Well, good luck to us. Alright, I think we're gonna stop at a canyon, so I should be safe to fast forward for a bit. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Okay, we have made it to the other side, thankfully. I did get to skip ahead a little bit. So for this, I feel like this is stating the obvious, which is probably an Ines thing, so we're gonna say it's pretty dang hot here. Yep. It's just as hot as the report said.
Yes. I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't expecting this.
It seems our choice of wardrobe couldn't have been more inappropriate. I'd almost prefer to disrobe and suffer the shame.
This is no time for your jokes. The heat is making it hard to breathe. Supposedly the air turns frigid at night, but I find that hard to believe.
It's the truth, though. Ulrik wouldn't have lied in his report.
Okay, I think we're good again for a little bit. Yes, we're fast forwarding again, so unless something changes in the next 2 seconds, I will bring you in when something does change. Okay, a minor thing. They made it to town, and so Ines has commentary on it instead of Eltcreed, which makes sense.
I'm reminded of the Sanctuary District.
Really? Are they that similar?
It's lifeless and humid there, and the sky is always cloudy. If you made a direct comparison, the two places couldn't be more different, but the smell of Earth is the same. At least to me. Maybe it's not the same at all. If Socks were here, I could ask his opinion.
Would he come if you asked him to?
I'd rather he didn't. He would just complain endlessly about the heat and the sand.
I can picture it. Got him. While he's not here to defend himself. Love it. Okay, skipping ahead again, guys. See you soon. Okay, grand. We finished our introduction with King Jereme, and now everyone's got their new clothes, so we'll see what Ines's reaction is to Cyrus's outfit this time around.
Is Cyrus still getting ready? I wonder if something happened. Something like what? I can't think of any specific examples, but she's usually so efficient.
There must be exceptions to that, right? She is a girl, after all.
Is she now?
She is. Heine, surely you must have noticed, at your age especially.
Not this again. My parents are constantly telling me the same thing.
Poor Ines. He's like, I don't know what ladies do. I don't understand. If anything, he's taken notice of Cyrus because he knows she's normally efficient. So, bleh.
You still live with your parents? I live in housing for single men, but I help out at my parents' home on my days off. They're always trying to set me up with someone, asking when I'm going to settle down.
It wouldn't be unusual for you to have a family by now, correct?
It sounds like you're in the same boat.
Hate to disagree, but no. I'm not getting any sort of pressure from my parents. That's because they're both dead, though.
Damn, Eltcreed.
Things are just different in the depths. I don't understand why you'd want to interfere in your adult children's relationships like that. They should be allowed to live however they like. Freedom and responsibility go hand in hand. That's what it means to grow up, to have a life of your own.
I get what you're saying, and I agree, but it's difficult for people to change overnight. There was a considerable backlash when we switched to a representative system. That said, I think Ines would do well to broaden his horizons a little. It's not as if you have no interest in the opposite sex, is it? Not you too, Saint Yune.
Dang. Even Yune's starting to rub him like, hey, I mean, broaden your horizons, my dude. And he's like, oh god, even the Saint God is giving me grief, boy.
I could give you a crash course if you're interested.
Is that even possible? Your life experiences are so different. Wouldn't it be like trying to explain ethics to a newborn?
Damn. It's my job to train new employees at Valentine Bank. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Now, why don't you start off with a compliment so we can make a preliminary assessment of your capabilities?
You mean compliment Cyrus?
Yes. She's wearing a brand new outfit, so you should focus on that. Okay, here she comes.
Sorry to keep you waiting, everyone.
Cyrus, that outfit looks great on you. Wow. How many points was that worth?
I'd prefer not to say. Heine, try to be more specific than that.
Specific how?
What's going on? Did something happen while I was away?
Let me see. I'm impressed that you're still wearing your sword.
Thanks. You too, buddy. I did not know that Elt and Yune were just gonna be grinning in the background, being like, this goober is a lost cause for this route, but I am okay with it. Oh, it's gonna be great.
That was terrible.
Wait, let's not be hasty.
Thank you. It's reassuring to hear you say that. The handmaiden told me that women here aren't supposed to handle blades, so I was a little uncertain. But you've put my doubts to rest. Our swords are like an extension of our bodies. As guards, we should wear them proudly.
It looks like his compliment hit the mark with her.
Is it because they're so similar? That's funny.
Yeah, those compliments would never have worked on somebody else, but for Cyrus, there. Mwah, perfect. Love that for them. Okay, I think we're skipping ahead again for a little bit, so I shall bring you in right now. Hey, I got caught before I finished my line. Great. I decided to stretch my legs a little in the courtyard before going to bed. Also, just a quick aside, like, this is stopping so much more for this than it did for Adage in the other side. So there's like a lot more changes, it seems, on this side of things than there were on the Jevite side of things, which is very interesting to me. I don't know why Jereme is just a better written side of the plot, but so far, brownie points for that. Very, very appreciative of that. A brightly lit fountain was shimmering gently, water droplets glistening in the light. It looks completely different here at nighttime.
Has that fountain grabbed your attention?
Oh, Eltcreed. Oh god, you are... Oh no. The music's playing... Oh no, I know exactly where this is going. You're doing the same nonsense that Ulrik did in Adage's route, where I'm like finishing the first episode and you're like,
hello, what if one of us just like snuck in there to distract you?
the rudest. Rude. Both of you. Fine. Alright, I guess we're ending this on an Eltcreed scene. You're welcome, everyone.
I could give you one for your birthday, if you like.
I wouldn't know where to put it, and it looks expensive to maintain. There's hardly anyone out here at night. I wonder why the courtyard is lit so brightly.
Perhaps as a security measure, similar to streetlights. Darkness gives rise to illicit opportunity and malicious intent. Or perhaps it's staging.
Staging?
Yes. Isn't this the perfect place for a clandestine meeting between a man and a woman?
No. With soldiers on all sides?
That may be, but if we move in close and lower our voices, the sound of the water drowns out what we're saying. What are you doing out here? Planning to attack someone with that sword?
It's called discipline. I was just stretching my legs before bed. I wasn't planning to...
I was only joking. I suspected that was the case.
Honestly. What about you, Eltcreed?
Just taking a stroll. I made a lap around the city.
By yourself?
Of course. Wandering around at night is a privilege that comes with being an adult. A child would probably get a firm slap on the rear.
Ah. Sounds familiar.
Really, Cyrus? I'm surprised. I was actually speaking from my own experience just now. It was a long time ago. Intensely curious as a child, I requested an escort so I could go into the city at night, only to end up kidnapped. I was ultimately rescued, but the guard lost his life in the process.
Okay, well that took a turn.
My parents tried to console me by saying that's what it means to be a bodyguard, and at least he died honorably since he was able to rescue his charge. I even believed it for a time. But seeing his family at the funeral opened my eyes. His wife had been robbed of her precious husband, his children their father. I couldn't do anything to change what already happened, and at my age I had no choice but to accept that sometimes that's just the way things are. but it made me want to grow up as soon as possible, so that I could bear responsibility for my own mistakes.
This actually is sounding familiar now that he's talking about it. I think we did get into that in his route in the original Steam Prison too.
That's why I cherish life now, and why I'm satisfied with the way I live. In theory, that is. It's what I strive for. You only live once. If you can't accept that, you'll end up full of regrets.
I knew it. I'm like, and then we get his perspective, right? Just like Ulrik. Man, you guys are twinning.
Well, good night, Cyrus. After walking her back to her room, I sat down in a nearby chair to rest. I should have known better than to talk about something like that. I should have told a sweeter, more heartwarming story. Instead, I revealed something intimate about myself without even realizing. I can't imagine what she must have thought. She just listened quietly and intently to everything I had to say. I may have been a child, but it was my carelessness that got my bodyguard killed. That's not a good story to tell someone you've entrusted with your life. It would have been nice if I'd added that I didn't want to lose her. I'm still such a child. Playing the part of an adult is hard.
You're not wrong about that, Eltcreed. You're not wrong about that.